Hi guys, it's Mrs. V. So today we're going to finish up coloring our beautiful overlapping shape art if you haven't done so already. So I am going to pick a really cool purple color. This is one of my favorite colors, this kind of blue violet crayon, to finish up just my last shapes, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do your background. So remember, we always make that border so that when we color, we don't accidentally go into another shape or into our background space like I just did. I'm gonna take this eraser. You can erase crayon just a little bit, not quite perfectly, but making that little border helps to keep our work nice and neat. And by going slow and coloring carefully, we can do that. We have all these beautiful bright colors, and we work so hard drawing everything that you want to do just as equally a nice job coloring everything. Everybody did such a great job drawing their shapes that we want to make sure that those get noticed. All right, I'm going to take this light green for this little rectangle here. And then color down. There we go. And then I just have this big circle space left, and I'm going to do a dark green. And this is a bigger shape, so it takes a little bit longer just to make sure we get all the border in first. And when in doubt, just make small little lines like I'm doing and work slow. Okay. Now we can color all in through here. Oh, little eraser bit there got in my way. And I'm using my marker on its side to kind of make a thicker line. If you're using markers like this, they kind of make two kinds of lines, a thin line, and then if you kind of use it on its side, it makes a thicker line, which makes it a little bit easier to color with, especially if you have a kind of a big space like this. He's running out a little bit, so I gotta get an extra little layer of color over there. All right, so all of my shapes are colored in. So you guys have a couple options for coloring your background. So I'm going to use crayons for our background because I'm going to color really lightly. I just want like a light area of color. I don't really want anything too dark. I kind of want to just use a light color. So I think I'm trying to decide on a good light color. I might go with yellow, or I actually like this yellow green. I'm going to go with this yellow green. It's kind of different from everything I've used. It's a light color. It'll still give us a color, but it won't be too overpowering. So again, I'm just going to start making my borders, and I'm not pressing really hard. I'm pressing very lightly, and I'm just going to, again, kind of like how I use my marker, I'm going to use my crayon on its side, and I'm pressing very lightly. So I just want a very light kind of wash of color. So I still made that border, but it's a very light, and the texture of the paper kind of comes through, which is nice, because the emphasis, what is most important in our picture is our shapes and all of our overlapping colors. So again, you just want to work all through all these little tiny shapes. Get your background colored. And if you wanted to, you could switch colors too. If you wanted to make one section of your background one color and then one section of your background another color, you can do that. So I'm using, instead of using my crayon like this, I'm kind of holding it like this and using it sideways. So you could do that. Or even if you have like a little chunk of crayon, sometimes that's easier. When the crayons break, I save them because the little broken pieces are great to take all the paper off, and then you can use them sideways like this, and it's really easy. So you don't always want to throw away those little chunks of crayon because you can use them later on for stuff. All right. So I'm just getting a nice light color. And like I said, you guys don't have to use the same color I do. I'm using this. This is, what color is this? Spring green. Very fitting because it is spring, even though there is snow on the ground. What is that about? All right. I'm just going to move my picture over so I can color this a little bit better. So normally we try to color pretty hard, press down and color small. In this case, I am still coloring neatly, but I'm just pressing lighter. I'm kind of like pinching the crayon and it's resting in my hands like this. So if this is something you want to try, it's just a different way of holding the crayon. I usually always get my edges like this too, because coloring the edge of the paper is no fun. All right, all this, and you can see, like I said, that texture of the paper is kind of peeking through, which is fine for our background. I'm gonna flip this over because this picture really doesn't have a top or a bottom. You could hold your picture sideways, you could hold it up and down. It doesn't really matter. Kind of one of those pictures. Looks good either way. And get all these little tiny spaces. We don't want to forget the little spaces. Kind of like these little nooks and crannies. And then just fill that in. So I get the little spaces first. And then fill in the big spaces. Okay. And then I got just this little part right left. So again, I'm still making a border, so I'm not skipping that step. I still want everything to have a border, so I'm not coloring into my other shapes. What's nice though is because I'm using a lighter crayon, get that little space right there. Because I'm using a lighter crayon, if I accidentally did color into one of these shapes, it wouldn't be that noticeable because I've picked a light color. So that's kind of convenient. So whenever you kind of want to color that background a little bit quickly, just get some color on it. And it makes your other shapes stand out more too when it has a colored background, I think. So I just picked, like I said, I just picked a really light color. Kind of almost yellow-green. And then using it sideways. You can see my crayon's getting kind of a funny shape. And then we're just going to finish over here. Okay. And then all the way down this way and across. And across. Put this last little border in there, and then we can fill this all in. All right, guys. So there is our fully colored in picture. Lots of crazy shapes, lots of spaces colored in, lots of different little funny shapes that we have left over. I think this one's kind of my favorite right here. I really like this shape right here. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope coloring the background, that was a helpful technique for you. And I hope you love your art. If you want, share a picture, take a picture of your picture. Remember we talked about that? Take a picture of your picture, which is so funny. Take a picture of your picture and share it with me on Seesaw. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Bye.